Gang, what up? It is a Monday morning. It currently is the 8th of November and the time is 11:15. I just entered a position. I've not actually shown or done any live trades on my YouTube channel, but I thought I'll take you through this one. I put a pending order at 11 a.m. on EJ, so the trade looks a bit like this. Don't know if you can see that, but currently it is just tagged in and you can see we've got the timer there. So we got another 44 minutes to the next hour. But essentially, yeah, once this trade has finished and happened, I'll show you what I've been looking at. But there you go, I've entered a live trade. Guys, if you want to see me enter more live trades, then let me know. I need to figure out how I'm going to show that a lot more effectively or in a fun way. But yeah, this is a trade that I've entered. So yeah, let's see how this works out. So take care, guys. Right, gang, hello. So today it is Wednesday the 10th of November and the time is currently 8:52. I'm still in that EJ trade, so let's have a look. So currently it's looking a bit like this. So I've locked in around 2.37%, which is great. You can see that there's around 6 minutes 55 left to the end of the hour. So yeah, it is great. So overnight we did break the low essentially and have locked in profit of 2.37%. So I'm still in the trade, still going to continue and see how this goes. But yeah, let's see how it goes. Right, guys, so I'm now out of that EJ trade. The price went in the opposite direction. I secured 2.37%. So as you can see here, guys, we can see that current live candle has pushed up and has taken me out of this trade. So in the next clip, guys, I'm going to show you my thought process as to why I entered this trade. Peace. Right, guys, so as you saw, we got taken out for 2.37%. So as you can see, I've just brought up the chart here of Euro Yen and you can see the trade is here. So I'm just going to bar replay this and show you why exactly I got into a position here. So I want to take it back probably to around here would be great. And we can see essentially from price action, we saw that essentially, yes, we had this push up and then we had a strong push down. Now, essentially to me, I'm seeing double wicks to this side, double wicks to that side. So I'm anticipating more of a range, right? Now, typically what happens when we get this kind of ranging behavior, as you can see, we did continue a bit with the range, is that we typically have these kind of pools of liquidity above and below. So I've talked about this before on my channel where you have retail traders typically having orders long and short. So what happens is that sometimes you'll get areas here where there are stops. So essentially price will literally tag into them and then continue in one direction, or it can do the other. It can come up, take all the stops out and continue back down, right? So this is thinking like a money manager. We can see that we have these areas above and below where people will be taking long and short orders, okay? So now as you can see, what happened next is that we start to push down. We tapped into this area and we started to pull back up, okay? So essentially to me, if I take the top one of this out, we hit into this liquidity area. And as you can see, to me, the expectation would have been for this to have a nice push up because we've collected the liquidity all down here of retail traders. And now we're ready to start to move up in the direction that it wants to go. But the most important thing here for this trade is what happened after. So as you can see, guys, we are starting to come up. And to me, if we're just going to read this price action here, okay, now you can see that, okay, we've got a wick here to the upside and then we started to come down a bit. We broke a high here, had a wick, came down, and here we obviously had the weekend. We pushed up quite a bit and again, we were starting to form wicks to the upside. So what I'm seeing is ultimately through all these candles, through all these hours of trading, I'm not really seeing the push that I wanted to anticipate. Typically, like when you have a nice liquidity collection like this, you see a nice V, a very fast forming V, and then you might have a little bit of a range and then shoot off to the upward direction. Kind of like what we saw here, actually. If I bring this back a bit, you can see that here we have this range here. So to me, we'll have a pool of liquidity here, and you can kind of see what happened here. You can see that the money managers pushed up, took out all these stops, and then pushed straight back down, and you can see how much momentum we had, right? But the thing is that with this, we didn't see that momentum. Can you see like the candles here? In fact, I'll just draw that a bit better. The candles here aren't showing anywhere near as much momentum as the candles here, right? So to me, essentially, I was looking at this kind of, for the guys that like to look at support and resistance levels, you can see that we've got this support / resistance zone here, right? And now to me, you can see again, look, we've basically spiked into it here, we've spiked into it here, broke through, tried to come back, broke, again, tried to test it again once and twice, couldn't be sustained, right? And this price action, the way it was coming up was essentially telling me, okay, if we hit this with weakness, then to me, it's more likely we're gonna go down. But again, I actually wait for candles to come and wait for the facts before I actually enter any positions. So as you'll see, as we continue this, we kind of ranged, we had this wick again, look, we wicked into that zone. And then again, this is what happened. Can you see, guys, we have these 3 wicks. Essentially, even if I widen this zone out, you can see that we've got the wicks in the zone, wicks in the zone. Here, we've got these wicks into the zone. Essentially, we're testing this, essentially to me, 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now that is showing me a serious lack of push to the upside. So for me, I was actually waiting to see if we have any evidence of a push down. And if we do, then I'd be more than happy to enter, all right? So let's see what happened. So this is what I saw. Okay, so this candle's taking a little while to load. So you can see that, okay, we pushed down, but we have formed a really large wick. So it's ultimately sellers were trying to push down, but buyers weren't letting them come in. But ultimately, you could see that we were starting to see this push down despite the wicks. And then the very next candle, this candle here is what sold the trade for me. Now, the reason being is because you can clearly see we had this kind of lack of momentum to the upside, and you can clearly see with these 3 candles we are starting this strong push down, and it was the 3rd candle with this kind of close on this pair that I really like, that caused me to set this order. And I said, okay, well, to me there's enough evidence here to suggest that, okay, even after this liquidity collection here, the buyers did not really come in, and the evidence was here. We could see for the guys that are like support and resistance levels, this was really tested, and to me that was more than enough for me to put an order in here. So I put the order in here. You can see the next candle didn't get tagged in, but the very next candle did. And this was actually the candle where I had my first recording, as you would have seen. Now, this is one of the things that is very important as I go through this candle by candle explanation, because as you can see, for the beginner traders out there, you would have seen that, okay, oh my gosh, this candle is like halfway up in my stop loss at the end of the hour. This is going to take me out. Oh, I might as well take out my position. But again, like I always say, we always say trading in psychology, you have to be patient. You have to let, even sometimes, of course, sometimes it's going to play with your stop loss. Price will play with your stop loss. So as you can see, it did play with the stop loss. Again, this candle here was a doji still sitting in the stop loss. And then the next candle, we had this candle, a really nice push out of the stop loss, which was absolutely nice to see. But again, remember, like I said before, for those early traders out there, you do not want to get fear of losing out. And even if you were in this kind of stop loss and you would have exited your trade, of course you would have taken a loss. But again, like I always say, patience produces percentages. You've got to be patient. Sometimes you just got to let price play with your stop loss. And based on all the evidence we had before, I would have this is completely fine. Like, to me, this is very high probability. So guys, as you can see next, we had this really nice push down, okay? So one of the things here is that I wanted to note is that, yeah, we had this push down, and even at this point, actually I'm gonna bar replay this back, you would have seen, guys, yes, we had this 2 candle push down, and you would have thought, okay, my gosh, okay, we're running in nice profit now. Okay, we got out of this kind of phase of watching my account being negative, but now we're currently running at around 2.7%, okay? And you can be completely happy with that, and that's fine, right? But then, of course, then the next candle, when you get a candle like this, then again, you're thinking, oh my gosh, okay, this is a huge candle back. Now this is gonna come up and actually take me out because this candle is a lot bigger than this. So I'm gonna just exit my order here and, you know, come out at, you know, 0.72%. Again, you know, this is what I mean by emotional management. Of course, this is not managing with my trade rules. I don't exit a trade here. Even if you see price do that, it doesn't mean that price, even from that candle, is gonna go up, right? You have to wait for the evidence. You just have to wait. And based on, like I say, just stick in the trade because you've judged it based on prior price action and you're back testing. So again, you know, even in this candle, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, price will come up and take me out. But like I say, be patient, see what happens. And as you can see, we ranged around for a bit. And even here, again, even here, if you guys were thinking of, oh my gosh, okay, so at this level here, at this candle here, we're 2.7% up. Let me just move my stops to break even because that means that I won't actually lose this trade at all. You would have seen, guys, that clearly price came up and actually hit the break even area. So those traders that actually like to move their stops to break even, when it doesn't fit your plan, you can see that this obviously came all the way back up and would have taken you out. And subsequently, look what happened after that. we had this really nice push down during the Asian session, I believe. Yeah, so we pushed down with really nice momentum. Okay, so again, you know, that is, you know, quite a few lessons. You can see, like I said before, for the early traders, if price is flirting with your stop loss, let it be. And even when price is coming back up and you don't move your stops to break even if it is not in your trade management rules. Okay, so when price, essentially for me, like I say, I always use a trailing stop loss. When price broke this low, I was able to move my stops here. So ultimately I had basically around 3 pips out of 12 of risk on the table. So that's minus 0.25%. So I had minus 0.25% of risk on the table at that current time. And then you can see that we started to range around this area for quite a while, okay? And this was actually a very, very long period of time, probably almost a day. And then you can see, guys, we broke this candle low here, letting me move my stops, move my trailing stop loss down up to a level here, right? Sorry, that was a terrible drawing, around here. So if I'm just gonna bring this up, and this was actually the 2.37%, okay? And then guys, as you saw at the very end of the video, we saw that price started to push back up and had this massive momentum candle up, okay? And that was the trade in a nutshell, okay? So as you can see, guys, I took you through the process of that. So there you have it, guys. You could see the kind of thought process I had when taking this EJ trade. You watched me take it live through those clips. And yeah, like you saw, like there are always lessons to be learned. And like I always say with my slogan, patience produces percentages. You could see that I never actually had any of these emotions or actually executed even on them, thinking, oh my gosh, price is doing all this sorts of stuff. It's in my stop loss. Oh, price is pushing up heavily. Let me move my stops to break even. All these things that are going to come across your mind. This is where the quality of traders come in, because like we say, trading is psychology. This is where you have to hold your nerve and let price play out. Like I always say, one of the best ways I hold my nerve is by saying I entered this trade based on all the prior price action. So the trade can do whatever it wants, but based on the evidence that it provided me, I entered this trade and I stuck with my rules, and there you have it. I ended up with 2.37%. So there you have it, guys. If you like this kind of live trading video, please hit the thumbs up button down below and write comments in the comment section down below. And I will do more of these. I think this is a really, really nice way for you guys to actually see some of the live trades I'm in. If you've got an idea or another idea of how I should show my live trades, then also let me know. But I think this was a fantastic way to show you the little clips of me day by day in this, and how I managed it, and also my thought process behind it. So there you go, guys. Like I always say, you know, I hope you're enjoying the content on my channel. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon if you want to receive notifications every time I upload. But for now, hope you have a fantastic trading week. Take care and peace.